All right, thank you for staying with us. This time we will be looking at the matter of Natasha bracing all the odds to get into Kogi State and the rousing ovation she received when she got there. We'll be joining Eshomo Moimudu and TJ Adeoye for that conversation. Good morning, guys. How is Abuja this morning?
Yeah, good morning, Veronica. Abuja is calm, as always.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you're looking forward to this conversation about Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. We are looking forward to it from here, too. So you can take it away.
Well, quite interesting times. I would say what we witnessed yesterday looked like a scene from a movie.
Definitely that was the reality.
Oh, well, we hope to see or hear from both sides as we dissect the conversation. All right. Good morning, Nigerians, and thanks to everyone for joining us on this segment of the program from Abuja. In the next 40 minutes, we'll walk you through events that took place in Kogi State. Now, barely 24 hours ago, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan received a rousing welcome from her supporters and residents of Ihima community of Kogi. This is despite the state government's ban on rallies and processions. As early as 8 a.m., her supporters from the 5 local government areas of Kogi Central Senatorial District flooded the Ihima community of Okehi local government to welcome the People's Democratic Party lawmaker. However, it did not take long before the suspended senator arrived in a white helicopter, eliciting applause from her teeming, jubilant supporters. Her return comes hours after the Kogi state government banned public gatherings and processions, citing security threats. This was followed by the imposition of a curfew in areas by the Okehi local government area chairman, Amoka Monday, and a warning from the police for her to cancel the event.
Despite the warnings, the lawmaker told the crowd of supporters that no one can stop her from coming home. And before the homecoming, the lawmaker alleged that any security breach at the ceremony should be blamed on the Kogi State Governor, Usman Ododo, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and ex-Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello. The Kogi Central Senator has made headlines in recent months and was some weeks ago suspended by the Senate for breaking its rules. Her suspension came amid a sexual harassment allegation against Senator Akpabio, and within the whole drama, a process of her recall is also ongoing. But the embattled lawmaker claims that her travails are a result of a witch hunt. For more on this development in Kogi State, we have joining us via Zoom the Commissioner for Information, Kogi State, Kingsley Fanwo. Mr. Kingsley, nice to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
Yeah, right. And we are also being joined by Jacob Anebe, who was a former senior special assistant on secondary education to Governor Idris Wada of Kogi State. And good morning, Mr. Anebe.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the program.
All right, and gentlemen, thanks for coming on the program today. Now, let's begin the conversation with you, Honorable Commissioner. With the huge crowd that turned out the reception of Senator Natasha, would you say the ban on the rally, on procession yesterday by the state government was ill-advised?
Thank you very much. And I will not qualify the crowd, but what I would dwell on is the fact that based on intelligence reports, the state government took an action after due deliberation and consultations that the governor had with the critical stakeholders, both in the intelligence service, security agencies, and the traditional institution, and then came to the conclusion that based on those threats, there was need. I'm a bit shocked that we are dwelling too particularly about just the bans on rallies and processions. We didn't talk about the other ones. It covered the 3 senatorial districts. In Kogi West, particularly in Kogi local government area, there were crises as a result of some hostilities resulting from fishing ponds. And then 2 people had already died there. So we had to also place a ban on the use of fishing ponds in that area. And also in Kogi East, especially to be particular in Njema district, 2 communities were having a lot of crisis as we speak. Security had been deployed there. And we also had credible intelligence that some people were planning some rallies, processions that were not just political but also religious in Kogi Central. These are some of the things that coalesced into the decision by the Kogi State government to take those security measures. And the intent is to ensure that the people of Kogi are protected. And the issue on convoys coming into the state, nobody said convoy cannot come to the state. I think we need to get it clear. We can go back to the statement of the state government 2 days ago. The thing was that we also had credible intelligence that some people are planning to infiltrate the state with fake security personnel, so to say, so as to come and use them to foment trouble in the state. When you see some of the insecurity around the country today, you would know that the position of the state government, which was basically aimed at ensuring security in the state, was justified. And the state government is still standing on that directive and policy statement on security.
Now, Mr. Fanwo, it appears that the restrictions and the curfews were targeted at disrupting Senator Natasha Akpotudwanha's homecoming, as people are curious about the sudden security report issued less than 24 hours before her scheduled event. Isn't this politics taken too far?
I would say that sometimes appearance may not be the same thing as reality. So if it appears to be so, I will tell you that that is not the reality. And that's why I gave you that background, so that you will be sufficiently enlightened and educated as to why the government took that decision. It wasn't targeted at anyone. Even the suspended senator is a citizen of Kogi State, and the state owed her protection and security. So if there is any issue that will compromise her security, the state has the powers to be able to come up with policies that will guarantee the security of every Kogite. That was what was done. It has nothing to do with politics. We are not in the political era. Elections are still some 2 years away from now. So nobody is campaigning yet. Nobody is doing politics yet. And if you have been following the trend in Kogi State, you will see that the governor has concentrated on development, on infrastructure, on education, on healthcare. These are the things that preoccupy the state government now, and not politics. So I think it is very wrong, and I think the media should play this down as much as possible, because it is even the media that is hyping it to make it look it is political, someone is targeted. How can the state government make a policy and you think it's just it's targeting at just one person? There are over 5 million people living in Kogi State, so it is not targeted at anybody. It is to ensure security of lives and property. Okay,
Honorable Commissioner, I think you are also aware that the media will only report what is out there. And we also know that there is this recall process for the same Senator Natasha. And it is not the media that made up the recall. So it's out there, and she said, okay, I'm coming home so that I can also see if I have credibility amongst my people. So just want to put that straight. Now, Mr. Anebe, this question is for you. You've listened to the Honorable Commissioner speak on why the restriction was placed. Why do you think your principal, being a good citizen and a lawmaker, they said went ahead against the idea of the state government and the police that there should not be any rally? Why did you dare the states? Mr. Anebe, are you there? Okay, we'll try to reconnect with Mr. Anebe so that
well, let's come back to you, Mr. Fanwo. All right. We'll take a quick commercial break now, but don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Life is politics. In Nigeria, almost every part of our lives is touched by the politics we play. Governance, legislative matters, the economy, security, foreign affairs, internal affairs. Have a feel as strategic plays in the political space determine how we live in Nigeria. The players, the drama, chess piece moves. Be kept informed. Watch analysis of major happenings in the political space and how it affects you. Watch Politics on Sunday.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita, prepare them to win every day.
Sometimes great things are worth waiting for, and for those who crave and wait, the experience is truly memorable. Introducing the new Dano evaporated milk. A creamy, tasty, nourishing way to start your day.
Very creamy and delicious. Now that's worth the wait.
Try Dano Full Cream and Dano Cool Cow Evaporated Milk and taste the Dano difference.
It's still TVC Breakfast, and we're reaching you live from our Abuja studio. We're still discussing Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's homecoming, and we have with us the Commissioner of Information dissecting this issue alongside Jacob Anebe, who is also with us on the program, and they are live with us via Zoom. Now, Mr. Fanwo, I would like to direct this question to you. Thankfully, there was no breakdown of law and order, and this brings to mind the credibility of the security report. You said certain individuals were planning to infiltrate the state and foment trouble, but you did not name these individuals or provide specifics. This has raised insinuation that this could be a false alarm.
Thank you very much. When you talk about intelligence, they could be cracked. They could be cracked into smaller pieces, and then we deal with it in those very small pieces. You don't come out to start mentioning names that from your intelligence, this person and this person are planning to. What government does is to put in place policies and strategies and measures to avert that, which was what the government did. And also, when you looked at what happened yesterday, when you said there was no breakdown of law and order, I don't know the information at your disposal. Maybe you also had your intelligence, and your intelligence informed you that there was no breakdown of law and order. But you would give a lot of credibility to the intelligence because I believe that yesterday would have been so bloody if the supporters of the other principal political actors in that senatorial district also went the way of the suspended senator. For instance, in a live message to his people on national and international television stations, the senator accused the Senate president of informing the governor to recall her, and when the governor was not agreeing, he sent for the former governor, His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello, and that he gave them money and also instructed them to kill her. You know, these are very grievous allegations. You are accusing the Senate president, the former governor, and the current governor of the state of planned assassination against your person, and was even given graphic explanations of how it happened. This was aimed at inciting her people and also eliciting reaction from the supporters of the other principal actors. And if they had reacted, that would have led to a lot of bloodshed yesterday. Okay. So I don't know, when you said there was no breakdown of law and order, like I said, I have not gotten any information to that effect. Okay, and Mr. I would want to preempt what the report that security agencies will come up with. All right, Mr. Fanwo, thank you for your thoughts on that. Now, Mr. Anebe, if you can hear me, so you've listened to the commissioner talk about why they decide to impose the restriction. According to the government, it is to forestall breakdown of law and order. But what do you think your principal did the government and went ahead with this rally?
Thank you so much for the privilege once again. Let me also correct an impression. It wasn't a rally in the first instance. The senator wanted to come home, visit her people on the celebration of Eid Fitr after the Islamic fasting period, and also to use the opportunity to brief her people about all that has been going on. So it wasn't a rally, it wasn't a political rally, it wasn't any form of rally in any way. So she came, she planned this, and then as information went viral that she's coming home to visit her people, the next thing was the state government's statement banning procession, banning car movement into the state, security movement, and all this. And for now, it is obvious that, as the Honorable Commissioner was speaking, that it was not targeted at her. But the fact remains that even from his own speech, it's obvious that he knows something about what is happening. Why is it that at a point, just at a point that the senator wanted to visit, that this statement banning all these form of activities came up? And let me also say this, that as at the time the senator came in yesterday, she has not broken any of the statement or any law or any order. She didn't come by road, she came by air. And obviously, the activity was right in her compound. It was in a private house, well fenced. I heard him say there was a procession. There was no procession.
Mr. Anebe. Mr. Anebe. I guess we have lost connection with Mr. Anebe. Oh, but well, we would speak to you now, Mr. Fanwo. Are you with us? Okay, Mr. Anebe.
Just continue with your conversation.
Yes, I can hear you.
Continue.
Yes.
Okay. So, as it is, and I want to tell you that with the crowd that came out to welcome the senator, shows that she's loved by her people. That her people, in the recess, never asked for her recall. Let me tell you one thing. Yesterday, I tried to go through about 3 different roads. There were barricades. People were being beaten by men of the vigilante, sending them back, not even knowing where they are going, but because they are going towards the residence of the senator.
Well, Mr.
A man was beaten, and we had to take him to the hospital.
I would like to ask you, are you not worried that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan continues to make new allegations she is unable to prove and potentially jeopardizing her case in court and suggesting she lacks confidence in the ongoing legal process? Mr. Anebe. All right, we'll come back to you. Mr. Fanwo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you clearly.
Who's speaking?
Is this Mr. Anebe?
Okay. Mr. Fanwo.
I'm the one.
Mr. Fanwo.
Yes,
okay.
I'm with you.
How is the state reacting to the fresh allegations made by the Kogi Central Senator, despite her lack of confidence to support her claims. These are serious allegations involving threat to life and potential interference with her recall process.
Thank you very much. I would say that, when we're talking about credible intelligence, I told you here that we didn't get it wrong. Possibly, those who gave the intelligence were sufficiently aware that the suspended senator would come and create chaos. And then, when you come out I need to correct a few things. The gentleman here possibly did not go through the statement of the state government. We did not ban convoy. What we said is, if you are bringing security operatives to the state, clear from the state command of the deploying services. If you are bringing police, let the Kogi State Police Command be able to identify and say, okay, this person is a policeman, this person is truly a policeman. It is to safeguard the lives and property of the Kogi people. And then, when you listen to those allegations, you will understand why this whole scenario is what it is. It is just a blackmail, blatant lies that were cooked to wipe up sentiment and create disaffection, and then get people's reaction and push them into violence. Because you will discover that the suspended senator was talking about a particular date. He was being copious. He was trying to say, on so-so day, the Senate president called the governor refused, then he called the former governor accepted, then they talked to the governor, the recall, that was why the recall started. He even said that they said she should be assassinated on Kogi soil, that the present governor and the former governor were told to assassinate her on Kogi soil. So these are things that, of course, she will have to prove those things. I'm very happy that the suspended senator is a lawyer, so she understands the law very well, and she understands the fact that in law, the person who alleges must be ready to prove.
Well, I'm glad you pointed that out, Mr. Fanwo.
She understands what malicious defamation and all of that means in law. But what I'm going to say is that, when you make this kind of allegations, the former governor has his family, children. These children are young children. They'll grow up in the next 20 years. These things will be on the internet, and they will ask their father questions. So I am very sure that both the former governor and the current governor would definitely book a date for the suspended senator in court to come and justify her claims. All right. These are very necessary and clear the air.
Yeah. Mr. Anebe, I was asking you, I said, are you worried that Senator Natasha Akpotudonha continues to make these allegations without proof? This potentially is jeopardizing, some of her cases in court. Does this signify that she lacks trust in the country's legal process?
Thank you so much. Like you said, the allegations she made, before she decided to come out with those allegations, she must have her facts. And the obvious thing is, just like the commissioner said, the court is there. And when the time comes, she will bring out her facts. She will bring out every evidence she has before making such allegation. The allegations are grievous, just like you said. But the fact remains that she has her facts, she has her reasons for making those allegations. She couldn't have just made a frivolous statement just for...
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Anebe, you still there? Okay. Commissioner, just take this from me. Now, considering what has played out so far, there was this recall process for the suspended senator, her constituent recalling her. And even before then, there was this allegation that a process to empower people of Kogi State was disguised as a process to recall her was disguised as an empowerment program, and they said the state was actually responsible for that. Would you like to speak on this issue?
Yeah. Before I go to your question, let me say that it is frivolous, it is malicious, it is defamatory, and it is a blatant lie. The former governor and the present governor did not discuss anything that has to do with either the recall or assassination of the suspended senator with the Senate president. I want to put that very clearly. Definitely.
Oh, I think we lost that again. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting. The commissioner is trying to put things in perspective. That is his own opinion, and just like Mr. Anebe is also giving his own opinion about the whole issue.
Of course, because looking at the issue critically, it speaks to human rights. And as much as a lot of people will not agree with the situation, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan insists that she is a Nigerian, and every Nigerians have their right to expression, have their right to freedom of movement, have their right...
And it's a constitutional responsibility. It's a constitutional
right. But some people might also argue that where your own constitutional right stops is where your constitutional right, you shouldn't exercise your own rights by interfering, with another Nigerian's constitutional right. Well, Mr. Fanwo, we hear that you're back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you were asking about...
Yeah, I was saying... I didn't know where you lost connection with me.
Yeah, you said there was no conversation between.
Then on the issue of the recall, I would say that I am not qualified to talk about the recall on two grounds. One, I am not from Kogi Central. Two, I speak for the government of Kogi State, and the government of Kogi State is not the sponsor of the recall. So I think the groups that are sponsoring the recall, they are not faceless. They are people that are known. They went to INEC to submit their petitions. They are known people. They will be in the best position to speak to the issue of recall.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, I just want to put this to you before I move to our other guests. We had a guest on this show who was one of those facilitating the recall. And some of the things she said was that why they're going ahead with the recall was because the senator did not come back to speak to them, her constituents, what her travails are at the Senate. And if now she's organizing a homecoming to explain to her constituents what exactly is playing out, don't you think that would have been a better way to handle this whole process? Because it's within the rights of the people to have peaceful assembly. You know that, and no court, nobody will be able to take that right away from them. Don't you think there's a better way you will have handled this whole issue so that it won't be seen as a witch hunt?
A wrong thing done at the right time is wrong.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Anebe, if you're there, now where are you? I mean, the senator on this aspect of recall process. The process is ongoing. And what exactly are your intentions with this rally? What should the Kogi Central people be expecting next from the suspended senator? Mr. Anebe, I think we seem to be having challenge with the connections there.
Hello, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I said...
I can hear you.
Okay. If you had the question, can you respond to the question? You want me to put it again?
Put the question again. I didn't get it.
Okay, I said with the rally that took place yesterday, where is the distinguished senator, the suspended senator, with the recall process? What exactly should the Kogi Central people be expecting next from her camp?
Seem to still be having trouble with our connection there. But like you said, like I was saying earlier, I said where you exercise your constitutional right, you might also be infringing on someone else's constitutional right. Now, also the state government, say according to her, she has not broken any.
Anebe is back. Anebe,
Yes.
you have the floor. You had my question. Talk to us. What is next on the table from the camp of Senator Natasha concerning the recall process that is ongoing with INEC?
I didn't. Please just go to the question straight.
The question is, with the rally yesterday, now what is next on the table? What are Kogi Central people should be expecting from Senator Natasha concerning the recall?
Mr. Fanwo, do we have you online?
Yeah.
Right.
Talking about the rights, and you see, the courts have ruled, High Court, Appeal Court, Supreme Court have all ruled that nobody can stop the rightful assembly of Nigerians. And for me, I think always that if you have intelligence reports about particular rally, why don't you improve security presence?
Well,
why stop the people?
What the state government already mentioned intelligence reports about security threats. But I hear that we have Mr. Fanwo now online. Mr. Fanwo, can you hear me? Are you with us?
I think that's the challenge there.
Well,
yeah, my thought is, what if there's a security report on the eve of an election? Will you ask that the election should not hold? I think we should allow the security agents should do their job. If there are security reports, you increase the security presence, because what is statutory, for instance, must hold. We should not go on the guise that, look, because of the security reports, election should not hold. I think we should go past that stage.
Let's talk about also the statements made by Senator Natasha during her homecoming. She said she was here to greet her people for the Salah, and I'm sure also to speak to her people about her alleged recall. But we saw her making even fresh and stronger
and those who alleges must prove.
Some might even
so the burden of proof is on her.
Yes, these allegations are quite inciting. I feel this is where the state government would have maybe had their own intelligence and try to prevent, because if these people that she's accusing, their supporters go onto the street and there is a clash, there will definitely be a breakdown of law and order. So I believe that no party should be absolved of their faults in this situation. Like you rightly said, the security agency should have been on guard to, protect the rights of the people that came out in that procession, not restricting them from assembling or expressing their support for their person. I hear that Mr. Anebe is now here with us. Mr. Anebe, can you hear me? Mr. Fanwo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you clearly.
All right. I would like to ask you, the state government banned public gatherings, processions, and but you said security convoy was not banned, only to be the interested person should notify the government or the police on their convoy. But she arrived by air, cleverly avoiding a breach of restrictions imposed by the state government. Will the government hold the constituents who came out in her support in contempt of the restriction order?
Thank you very much. Let me start with the last question that you did not get to hear me. When you said there should have been other ways of doing it, that what he came to do was not wrong. Yes, nobody's faulting that. The wrong thing at the right time is wrong. The right thing at the wrong time is wrong. And then when it has to do with security, you cannot continue to breach it. A lawmaker is expected to be very responsible enough to understand rules, understand laws, and obey them. You cannot have a lawmaker who breaks the law. So this is a breach of the security of Kogi State. As to whether government is going to pin charges or things against those who came out, it is not within our purview. There was a directive, there was a security measure, there was a security protocol put in place, and by the state government, also the state police command came out to say from their own intelligence too, there might be violence if she comes for that rally. And she went ahead to have it. Then the governor in the statement that directed the state, security agencies.
Mr. Fanwo. Oh, okay.
Mr. Anebe, are you there? I really wish we could hear from Mr. Anebe, because we've not really gotten so much from him in this program. We're definitely running out of time. But Mr. Fanwo, are you still there?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a security challenge in Kogi State, and I think the commissioner should probably, if he's hearing, to explain to us what other steps are they taking to help ensure that Kogi is secured. Now the rally has taken place. Now going forward, Kogi Central, the other senatorial district, what are they putting in place to ensure that we don't have a breakdown of law and order?
All right, I think Fanwo is there to answer your question quickly.
Mr. Fanwo, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that now going forward, the rally took place. Going forward, what is the state government putting in place to ensure that we have security in Kogi State, in all the senatorial districts?
Yeah, to correct future anomalies, we must also address what happened yesterday. That's where we start from. We should ensure that those who break the law, those who breach measures and protocols to ensure security.
Wow. What a way to end the discussion.
Mr. Anebe, I hear you're back. We've run out of time, but if you could just quickly...
Your final thoughts?
Give us your final thoughts.
Mr. Anebe. Wow.
Well, unfortunately, that's where we have to
Network is not friendly with.
It's not our friend today. Well, I really hoped we could hear from the Natasha side of the, on why, they held that, procession despite the state government. But of course,
it's an ongoing conversation.
It is an ongoing, and she's still within her constitutional right. But heavy, weighty allegations were made by the senator, and I hope that she is able to prove that, because the state government has already said they will see in court. So we look forward to.
So we'll also be ready to report the cases in court.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program this morning. It was quite interesting speaking with you both. Thank you so much. All right. That's our package from here in Abuja. We'll hand you over to our Lagos crew, where they are standing by to continue with the rest of the program. Veronica.
Thank you, Tijesu. Thank you, Ashamama, for that conversation. Unfortunately, network did not give us the ample time to hear from both sides, but it was quite insightful at the end of the day. Thank you once again, Tijesu and Ashamama. All right, back in Lagos, it's time now for Trending Now, and Olamide